We're back! Svavelvinter role-playing game, the Conflict Saga, Sulphur Winter, all those names. It really needs to get an English translation, so I don't have to drop all the names at once. But here we are, back with the adventurers who have done things, which we will talk about in a moment. But first, let's introduce them.
Hey everyone, I am Stephanie. I play Eldrida, and she is your hippie ranger witch lady. Having a great time here. I don't know what Mikhail's talking about. We didn't do anything. Next.
Hi, I am Harasamina. I play Nefria, and Nefria is your friendly neighborhood rabble rouser.
I'm the infamous Rob, and I'm playing Artegue da Fontra Cilor, whose general goal involves debauchery, but also keeping the rest of them alive while they attend to their own silliness. And no, Stephanie's right. The players did absolutely nothing last session that'll have any kind of long-term repercussions, and anything you hear otherwise is scurrilous rumor.
Yes.
Speaking of, before we dive into that, I should say to the audience that this show is rated R for shenanigans and yeah, you will horrible things that people do to each other. Not necessarily the characters, but also not entirely necessarily excluding the characters. We will find out during...
I think R is for, let's see, language, murder, debauchery, and drug use. We'll go for that.
There we go. Yeah, that's a good summary.
I'm confused. There's a kind of drug use outside of debauchery? Go on. Teach me your ways.
Teach the ways. One of you might want to summarize last session and gain a fate die.
All right, I got this. So last session, we arrived at the temple. We began our traditional dungeon crawl, but first we met a party of 4 NPCs. Those folks included, hold up. There was a dancer, and we're all like, who knew Sifanu, and we're all like, that's kind of awkward. Deidre. The leader of this group was Roba Redcalf, who apparently just wanted to make some money. There was Gistak, the strong man. He got beat up pretty bad. And Mogerland, the nun, who I happen to really like. And we ventured into the crypts with them because we decided to keep our potential enemies close and also utilize the strong man as, a shield wall.
Meat shield.
Yeah, so we did that. We got some cool weapons and a crown, and then we got a spooky black broadsword, and then we found out about a wound in the earth because we have an earth sorcerer who listens to such things.
Lies.
But then our Sifanu tried to ask some questions of the dead king with the crown on his head, and shit got real. We may or may have not rose an army of undead from all across the countryside, and then we beat feet out of there. That pretty much sums it up.
Yep, that is indeed so. I will just add the little tidbit that one of the NPCs had to, out of greed, try to dislodge a certain item inside the tomb, which created an avalanche inside. And luckily nobody was terribly hurt, though some people were. And then Sir Artegue came to the rescue and spoke to the rocks and made them create a tunnel, if you will. And you did also see at least a couple of you, I think, saw the strange blood-like substance coming out of the bowl in that room, but you didn't have a chance.
And down a drain.
Yes, and down the drain. But you didn't quite have a chance to explore that too much because that's when Sifanu did the thing, and that's when everything went to, shall we say, no plan survives contact with things.
What?
Undead hordes?
My notes literally say, we raised an undead army accidentally and freed the undead king. Oops.
Yes, this is a good... Yes, I would agree with this. I would agree indeed.
think our best
Mistakes were
hope.
made.
I think our best hope is that since he no longer has his crown, he clearly can't command his undead legions, and everything will be fine.
I mean, okay, sure.
Let's hope you're right. I will pick up the action as you are moving out of the Cruri Valley. That's this hidden valley where all these undead bog people, that's really what they look like to you guys as you are rushing away. You will remember that some of the NPCs went the other way. Roba, Deidre, Gistaki, and
Addertongue ran away.
Addertongue also, yes, they're going back towards Arham. But Briar is, of course, with you, Parma is with you, and so is Mogerlin, because apparently the north seems nice. That's literally what she said. But you are all together with your Wolfkin companions, who are now Nefria's Reavers, rushing towards the north end of the valley. And as you're doing this, you can in fact see a group of Kvors, not just the one. It's a whole group of them, and they are in fact coming together with the cliff crawler that you left right there on the edge, and the crates, and they're walking them through the bog as well as they can along paths that apparently they see, where they can lead this animal and its cargo towards the heart of this area, which is exactly where you're trying to get away from. They're taking your cliff crawler and the crates with the things in them, the weapons, towards that tomb.
Like into the valley, of course.
Yes.
Can you remind me what a cavord is?
The Kors, the strange people that you met over by the Druid Temple that have, they can ride the Fuzzards. They have these strange, the fantasy Neanderthals.
With protruding teeth that they use to dig.
Yes, those.
Among other things.
And Sir Artegue did discover how pleasurable their ladies can be, and
they wanted to strengthen their bloodline.
Yes, they did.
Oh, I remember. We saved the one of the lady from that was hiding behind the throne, right? Or is that somebody else?
Hiding behind the throne.
I thought there was somebody hiding.
Oh yes, when you were doing exactly. When you were doing the thing with the mercury mine. Yes.
That wasn't us though.
It was not us.
It was other us.
That was the guest play moment, indeed. You're quite right. So yeah, you can see them going the other way. I don't know. Is this two groups just passing each other in the dark? Is that what we're saying?
No.
We don't want them to take our stuff, right? Like that's not.
Well, no, those are magical cursed weapons that are apparently very effective, but also cursed to kill their bearers. That the Kvors, according to them, we were prophesied to bring them here, bring those weapons here, and give them to the masters. Now, whereas this did not originally sound like a bad plan full of badness, at the moment, my best guess for the Masters is the undead horde, and I don't want to give them magical weapons.
Well, I don't think the undead horde was part of the plan. I think that's a surprise, but maybe I'm wrong.
I kind of think they are the Masters. I kind of think we give them the weapons and then they expire.
Well, they're already dead, so if they kill their masters, it's doesn't it nullify the curse?
I think they kill living people, not dead people. But these are cursed things, and I'm certainly no expert on curses. However,
I say we trust the Kvors. They're the locals.
Honestly, we don't trust the Kvors and interrogate them instead.
I have a question. Are we going to defend Arham?
No. I mean, should we?
Those Tricorian bootlickers? No.
What about all the non-Tricorians that live there?
Parama
bless
will,
them. They'll
in
die
this
heroes.
conversation, be very confused. Arhem, someone has to... But surely the others will warn Arhem.
Yes, they will.
They have like 88 more Reavers in Arhem than we have with us.
That's true.
If anyone's prepared for an undead horde, like the numbers are less uneven on their side.
All right, that's true. Well, let's go deal with these weapon things then.
I mean, I'd like to ask the Kfors what's going to happen.
You
What
are
their intent
approaching the
is.
course, and you will speak to the elder as usual then, I suppose. Uma, who is leading them, and he is bowing deeply. Freers, go kill green men, and he points towards the northeast.
That sounds awesome.
Who's going to kill the green men? Freers?
You and Masters, and he points towards the tomb.
The undead? The horde?
Yes.
Our friends?
Kvur friends.
Good enough.
Okay. I was wrong to have doubted you, Nefria.
Horde
Oh my god.
weapons?
Yes.
Are we good with arming them up? And I look at the party. Are we? Yeah, lace up, guys. Do this.
Are you gonna?
So this I
fall-
want to understand. I want to understand. Undead friends Kvor, friend of us. Undead harm us?
Undead. Undead. That was a difficult word for him.
Skeleton.
Try masters.
Masters.
Your masters. Not your masters.
Hurt us?
You leave now.
Okay. Okay. I mean,
Now
I don't
I'm
know how I feel.
shakier.
I don't know how I feel about this.
No. Kfors and army meet up with us later?
Uma knows not. Masters decide.
What will the masters do?
Kill green men. Free Kvur.
Okay, no, I'm still good with this.
Kvur
Could you-
Karut.
Could you, just out of curiosity, Nefria, could you figure out how he knows that? Is that like an eons old prophecy, or is that just a thing
This
that
is-
appeared after the Shagulites appeared?
It's just his word, you know. It's his most educated guess. That's what he went to school for.
No, I mean, I bet he got it from what, Uksu, the wise woman?
I went to
What?
Kfors school for this. Giants helped.
Yep.
Uma, how masters control you?
We four masters, yes, always waited long.
I don't think we should show him what's in the loot though. I don't think that we kind of took the crown. I don't
I
think
can,
that's good.
yeah, I can remind you, Sifanu can remind you, if nothing else, that some of the skeletons you found outside the tomb were Kvur's skulls that were bashed in.
You know.
Like they had been there as long as the tomb was around. Like, so they were, yeah.
Like, so they would have been, so the Kavors would have been the ones who erected that stone barrier outside of the tomb, and then presumably their heads were bashed in so that no one else knew where it was, right?
It's a theory.
I mean,
Question then: are the Kavors the one putting the blood for the blood god down there?
What? No, that's coming from the earth.
It's
That's
coming
a-
up.
That's a literal metaphysical wound in terra firma, not.
And we don't think that has to do with anything, like it's not tied to the masters in some way.
Oh, it is totally tied to them. The masters are the ones who caused it.
So the Kavor just follow them.
The Kavors are, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, they're slave race.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
They will start moving again because
Yep.
as far as Uma and Uxa are concerned, they have explained everything to you, and you now clearly know what you have to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nefria. I'm actually the further into this we get, the more I'm starting to sway back to the side of we shouldn't let them arm their undead masters from times long past, who rent a hole in the planet with magical weapons.
Well, technically, that's the okay. I mean, the prophecy said that's what we're gonna do.
A prophecy that was only told to us by the Kavors, who we've now established are the eternal slaves throughout the eons of these undead guys.
Do we have Parama with us? We've got her, right?
Parama's here. Briar is here.
Parama, I'm looking at Parama for any local insight here as to what prophecy this is. Is this legit? Is this friendly? Is this like, oh yeah, they're totally a slave race and these guys are, absolute evil and we're about to arm them?
I mean, they're undead.
She looks deeply, deeply confused about this whole thing, to be honest. She is just kind of gaping.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean,
no better than what we have now. Cool.
Not much, no. Briar is taking notes intensely because clearly Talsimbar Herbmaster's quest of finding an ancient civilization on this island has been successful in ways that Briar had never anticipated.
Briar's going to be so widely published after this.
well, look, our options are to just sort of let this happen and continue on to the Shagulites because this really isn't, our concern, or to insert ourselves and stop it. And in that case, I think because they are a devoted slave race is going to involve us slaughtering the Kavors.
Okay.
Those are your options.
There would be there's gonna be some kind of armed conflict if you try to take the weapons away from them. You do have your Wolfkin on your side, but they do have a bunch of Kurs as well, so it's anyone's guess.
And aren't we kind of beat up?
Yes.
I'm not.
Yes. Well, some of you are. No, wait. Komorda, you had Parama do.
Yeah, we got super healed.
Yes.
Oh,
she
yeah.
did, like a lot.
Man, she's fantastic. She's the best.
She did the
He's
thing.
so in tune with Komorda, it's not even funny.
Indeed.
She's my favorite person that I have recruited thus far. It doesn't matter that she's the only person I've recruited. Okay.
Yeah.
I really do think though that I guess my opinion is that I don't want to kill a bunch of Kavors.
Okay.
Future me can deal with the undead.
Would future you prefer? I'm very much in the same boat. I don't necessarily want to kill all the Kavors. I slept with like a third of them. That said, maybe a quarter. That said, and I'm totally willing to leave the undead as a problem for future Artegue if, of course, the Tracorian Empire can't take care of it on their own. That said, realizing that this might become a problem for future Artegue, I'm not sure that when it does become a problem, I want them to have a bunch of magic weapons.
They have cursed magic weapons.
Except what you really suspect that the and they are cursed. Okay, totally agree to that. But I suspect that whatever curse is on these weapons that have made them unsuitable for living people to use, but that their slave race acting on commands from eons ago is ready to bring back to them, I bet they're not harmful to them, or their slaves wouldn't bring them there.
Okay. But I
Like-
assume we're having this conversation sort of as we're like walking or just sort of dawdling in the snow area.
It's an Aaron Sorkin walk and talk.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Trees are passing by.
yeah. So I think that arming them means that both Tricoria and the Shagulites will face them before we do, and that's actually kind of good. And then we can deal with whatever's left over after that shakes out.
I thought we were going to the Iron Tower.
We are, but they just said that they were going to kill the green men. So,
I mean, so was your plan then just to? I mean, so here's my next concern. So let's say we go to the Iron Tower, right? And there's no sign of an undead horde, right?
mm-hmm.
How do we go in?
Yeah,
What if the undead horde comes up on us?
we need to
While
get out of
we're
there before
inside.
we should get out before they show up.
Based on what, though?
I don't
That's
know.
wild speculation.
I don't know.
Sifanu, because I'm gonna do him now.
Yeah.
Will remind you also, of course, that the maker of the swords appeared a couple of times as a ghost around the
Yes.
swords, and was very, very certain that the end point, the prophesized or fated end point of the swords was here, which is interesting in the grand scheme of things. So I guess I'm just gonna guess for Goat here, but I have a feeling that he's not terribly comfortable with the maker of the swords, even though they're fated to go here and so on. It's sus. How about that? It's sus.
It's sus.
It's sus. However, as Sir Artegue says, like if they will, there are all these ifs and buts. Will they kill the Shagulites? Will they? Yeah.
How about this? How about if Nefria can talk them into surrendering those weapons and not arming the undead, I'm game. But I'm just unwilling to kill a bunch of Kvors on.
All right, Eldrida, but I'll make you another deal.
Ooh, what's that?
No, I love my deals. If I end up having to fight a bunch of undead with magic weapons that we gave them, you have to stand up front with me, where you can get stabbed by those magic weapons. Because do realize
that's not going to be a good place for my bow, though.
Well, do realize that I'm the only one you're really volunteering to get stabbed by magic weapons. You're just
stabbed.
Okay.
Fine. Fine. Yeah.
Nefria, what do you think?
I'll be up there. Let's
Technically, I'll just interject with a mechanical thing, rule thing. Eldrida is just as good with a sword as she is with a bow.
Oh, I know. I just don't want to be up there.
Yeah, that's...
I know. Because when you're up there, you get stabbed with magic swords.
I said, fine. Fine, I'll be up there.
Okay, hold on. Oh, Nefria,
yeah.
What do you think? Like, if the consensus is against me, I'll follow the consensus.
I just don't want to slaughter a bunch of Kvors.
Well, do we have to kill them all to take the weapons?
I mean, we're going to have to kill some of them.
We tie them up and let the ice take them.
Oh my God.
It's not
dead.
murder if the mountain takes them. Okay.
That's not true, guys. That's not how that works.
Parama will make an outraged face again.
He's joking. They're joking.
I'm joking. We're joking, Parama. It's fine. It's fine.
See the laughs.
You do have a bag of at least 2 magic swords, one of them a two-hander, that you brought from the tomb.
We have a... yeah, I've got it slung on my back.
Yep.
Let's see.
You are over encumbered at this point, but because there is a bunch of wolfkin, I'm not gonna. They can help offload you and so on.
We have a golden bowl that was taken from a pillar.
Yep.
We have a crown, a golden crown with jewels, a scimitar that was held by one of the silver guards. It's got a lizard skin hilt, runes on the blade, snakes in gold, emeralds in the cross guard. 7 engraved stars, a broadsword.
Magic weapon. Yep.
That's a magic one. A broadsword that's the guards. It's all a strange black metal rune on blade, absorbs light. Not magical though.
Correct.
I think evil was our takeaway from
No,
that.
the evil is the two-handed sword of shining silver with a bronze hilt. a single sapphire, and a grinning demon face. We have a dagger, a simple scabbard, ivory hilt in shape, and of an old man snoring on the ivory hilt. And then we have a mirror, mother of pearl framing, words carved into the frame.
Yep. Those are the artifacts. You haven't had the chance to study them yet, but, you know, since Sir Artegue was talking about standing up front fighting a bunch of restless...
I hand you the broadsword, and I say, my guess is this eats magic. If it's not magic, and it seems to absorb light and other it might eat magic. So here you go. I base this on nothing.
That is wild supposition. Wait, hold on. Wasn't this the... Which was the one that that Sifanu warned us not to touch?
The two-handed sword with the demon face that
Gotcha.
radiated pure evil.
Yep.
Well, Artegue will happily throw the black sword up and strap it to his back just on the off chance we need a light and magic consuming sword in the future.
I don't know.
Very well.
Just if it's not a bad idea, someone should carry the sword.
Does it?
I think
Mikael,
Nefria should have the crown.
In this system, does it matter if we dual wield, or like, does that have any effect on anything?
There's a
Not
swordplay
until-
talent for it.
Not until you have the expertise for it, exactly. So at the moment,
It's just flavor.
at the moment he would have to choose which weapon he's attacking with. Also, his two-handed warhammer is a two-handed weapon.
No. I meant for me. Like if I was to go scimitar and dagger.
You can do that, but you won't be able to coordinate your movements very well because you don't have swordplay with the expertise of two weapons. So basically, you will going as an untrained person. That's exactly how you would go into the fight. You will be holding either the dagger up and you know trying to parry with that, or the sword up. But you just haven't learned how to coordinate your arms to work.
So it's
with
really
them.
just flavor.
Yeah.
Basically. Okay.
Well, the difference is that you can make a choice of which weapon you're using each turn.
Sure. Nefria, I hand you the mirror and the crown, and I say, good luck, and I'll take the dagger and the scimitar, and until Goat comes back to help us with this magic, that's how that's gonna go.
Very well, and
He may have better ideas with his advanced wizardry.
The dagger is still snoring.
Okay. Well, I
That's
stick
so
it in, fill it at my
weird.
belt.
All right. I put the crown on my head and put the mirror in my bag.
You have a crown on your head.
Okay.
It's very pretty.
What could go wrong? So how have we with these fours? Are we just gonna let this fly then? Then I'll stand up with you. I'm ready.
I was effectively, I think, Eldrida and Artegue have both pretty well staked out their positions here. Clearly, the Sifanu's not actually here to break our tie, or I'm sorry, just to participate.
He abstains.
So
He abstains.
Nefria is kind of our consensus maker here.
I think that we allow this to happen.
Okay,
Boom.
well, I think this is foolish, and we're all going to regret it, but we'll let it happen.
That's how you feel about most of your life, so that's okay, I think.
I
Let's go.
I do not regret most of the things I've done, including her and her and her, or him.
Off we go.
Off you go.
Shagulites.
Okay, towards the Shagalites then. You are armed with your new scimitar, Eldrida. It's a beautiful piece of work. It just glitters in the moonlight, it's lovely.
What could go wrong?
And the snoring dagger, it's snoring. And on you go. And you have a completely black broadsword on your back, which, I mean, that's a bit weird, but there it is.
I don't. So, no, never mind. That's just silly. I've had a bad thought. Moving on.
Indeed.
All right.
All right. So we will go on then across the frozen wastes and go north.
Where were we supposed to meet the giant?
On the glacier.
On the glacier. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
They rarely leave the glacier.
We no longer have a tribe of Kvors, so like the
That's
thing of
correct.
giants are only backup.
Yeah, so what do we go back to
And
the
the
glacier,
wolf.
meet up with them, and kind of cross the ice up to the Iron Tower?
I think that's probably the plan, yeah.
Unless Parama knows a better way. 'Cause
She does
she's
not.
from here. Okay.
But she's happy to be your pathfinder here, as you are still on Marjura. And you will be able to get back up towards the glacier. It's gonna be around midnight when you get up there. It's been a long day, to be honest. It's been a very long day. But you are finally on your way and getting up there. And, no, that's not how... Okay, there we go.
What a day.
Yes, indeed.
Just man.
But the giants, will they be there yet? He had to go, Great Thule had to go and get his grandson. That was the last thing he said. So it might take a little while before you rendezvous with them. But on the other hand, you're going to go to sleep right now, aren't you? Or unless you want to press on over the night. That's up to you guys.
No, I feel like Eldrida should sleep and take a rest, and maybe we should take a look at the weapons. I feel like if we're on the ice, I don't know, hopefully...
Like, are
The
we gonna
undead
get
don't-
ambushed by undead in the middle of the night? That's my only concern.
That's a problem for future Eldrida.
Oh my god.
Not that distantly future, Eldrida.
I say we trust the process. I say we trust the Kfors.
You're putting your faith. Okay, sure. Let's. Yeah,
I'm putting my faith in them continuing to use Sir Artegue, and I'm just gonna ride his sweet genetic coattails.
Something is riding him. That's for sure. All right,
It's the Kfors.
let's move
I-
along.
I just hope that they capture me instead of killing me for my use as a breeding subject.
Oh, okay then.
Same though, like same.
Right?
The things, right? Yep.
It'll be fine.
So yeah, I think sir that we we'll spend the night here, kind of rest up. We'll take a rotating watch, of course. We're not just going to assume that everything's fine.
Yep.
And
yep.
we'll see what happens in the morning if we make it that far.
If you make it that far, that sounds good to me.
I bet the undead get tired and can't walk all night. So
yeah, maybe the undead have to sleep too.
yeah, it makes
You never
sense.
know.
So during the night, I mean, I have 3 things that I want to do, and I don't know if
Yep.
I can do them all while taking a rest. But I want to level up. I want to, study my weapons, or maybe pray on my weapons. Do the fortune-telling divination, and then the third thing would be to make a potion.
So you're gonna stay up all night then?
Yeah, see, that's problematic. I have to actually get some kind of rest.
Yes. I
Why
mean,
don't
you can
not do all those overnight. Like we have a cart, you can spend some time making a potion, riding in the cart. The next day,
don't
maybe?
really have a cart anymore.
No.
No.
Okay. No cart then. I retract my statement. We had a cart. It
You
was a
had
sweet cart. A donkey and everything.
Yes.
Can I
well, the
utilize...
horse is still in Orham.
How about this? Can I utilize my divination over the weapon scene as my leveling up?
Yeah, let's have a look.
I'm
'Cause
double
we
dip.
do want
Nice.
to.
But I want it now.
Exactly.
I mean, I mostly want to level up, to be frank, is because it'll open up my rerolls again, which are now close to me.
Your
not
the weight
criticizing
of
you for
your
wanting it.
fate will increase by 1 step.
Say that again.
And-
My what?
The weight of your fate. So on your character sheet, on the just under your experiences, it says a weight of destiny. So that will go up 1 step when you level up. And but you. I read this a while back, and my brain is saying nothing right now. So.
I can't see my sheet still, so you'll have to. Make
Yeah, I
those
know. I'm
changes
gonna have
for me.
to. So. All right. These are the things you can do. As I'm gonna allow you to level up now.
Okay.
You can raise your ability one step, any of your 3 abilities one step, or you can get a completely new ability. If we can rationalize that somehow, you could switch around the values of your blood. So if you want to increase your wind and decrease your fire or something like that, you could switch around the numbers a bit.
What are they now? Are they 3, 3, 2, 2? I can't see.
You have 3
How to get it.
fire, 2 wind, 1 water, and 2 stone.
Okay.
And you will also write a new experience for your character. So you get a 4th experience. All your experiences are reset, so the ones that you've spent are available to be spent again.
Okay.
And what would be a good experience? I would recommend taking a moment on Marjura that really changed Eldrida's thinking about the world in some fashion. What happened during her time here on Marjura so far? Like a sentence.
Okay. I'll need to think about that. I think that it's been a lot more full of death and bad choices than she thought it was going to be. I mean, I think Eldrida is having problems with the fact that she might actually be one of the bad guys.
Am I a baddie?
And doesn't really know, like, is she really, or, because she's not entirely as gung-ho as Nefria of this, Tricorian independence. She's just kind of along for the ride, and they're really serious about it. So I'm thinking...
Would that be like accidentally helped raise an undead army? Is that the experience? So I'm trying to like the moment, like with it's less about her own philosophy, if you will, and more about that moment changed things for me.
Yeah, accidentally helped raise an undead army. I don't know how that would be an experience that I could utilize later, though.
Oh, you've done a lot of things over the course of raising an undead army.
Yep. That's also a thing that you want to think about, how you might use it. Is there any abilities that you have been thinking about getting or raising? You have been using archery a lot without having an ability for that.
I know, and I also just got magic swords, and you said there was a sword play ability?
There is indeed.
So I was thinking if I'm divining on the swords, maybe then that's how I pick up the sword play ability, but I don't know anything about that ability.
That could be the case, yeah, absolutely. If you are doing a divination of yourself and you see Eldrida sees herself wielding this sword in the future, then why wouldn't you get sword play?
That's what I was thinking, that I could, do the divination on the weapons and then, take up the weapons. I was going to go archery 100%, but I don't know, it just seems more fitting to do it this way with the way games played out.
That's fine. I'm happy either way as long as you're happy with the story, right?
What does swordplay the ability do?
It gives you the ability to put fate dice into attacks with a sword, and the various expertises. That's a word. So you can have like the first one of them is powerful weapon, which is the one that Sir Artegue has. You have a weapon that is an artifact, And like if you choose to make this weapon that you just picked up from the tomb your powerful weapon, which would be very appropriate, then I will have, because I already know what kind of artifact bonuses it has, and that means that the weapon will have a strong bond to you, and if you lose it, you can get it back. You spend a fate die and play out a scene describing how it happens. The other expertise are Quick Draw, 2 weapons, Specialist, which means that you're a specialist with one particular melee weapon type, or Parry Arrows. So those are the 5 specialist expertises that you could get for sort of.
So what does powerful weapon do?
It
that
means
seems
that
the most fitting for the story.
That means that the weapon is basically bonded to you. If someone were to steal this weapon from you, you are going to find it again somehow by spending a fate die and tracking down the thief, for example.
Okay, then I guess knowing what I don't know about the scimitar and dagger on what they do or if they have like a history or personality associated with them.
That's
so
correct.
knowing what you know, which weapon do you think is most appropriate for Eldrida that she would divine on them and then would have a vision of and then bond with? Which weapon would that be?
Oh, in terms of the scimitar or the dagger?
Yeah.
You know what? Let's do the divination, because I want to give you a chance to ask me some questions over these weapons.
Cool. Perfect.
Because I feel like that would be... where did it go? Fortune telling. There we go. You have divination as your expertise. So you're gonna do a ritual. Basically, you're gonna be up late this night. There's no doubt about that. You're conducting a ritual that takes one scene, and you do have to... Yes, you have to spend at least one fate die. You roll for wind, and every successful die allows you to ask the storyteller a short question about what is coming. The answer should be short and can be ambiguous and cryptic, but the storyteller cannot lie.
Okay,
And it's about the weapon this time, so that's interesting.
So I spend a fate die, and my wind is 2.
Yep.
Can I spend other fate die to the roll, or?
No, because you only have the one level in fortune telling, so you have.
So does the fate die add to that, or is it just 2 dice?
No, it adds to that. So you have 3 dice. 3 dice altogether.
All right, let's go.
Alright, spending a fate.
Well,
That's a success there. You can ask me a question.
Which weapon will better serve me in service to the moon goddess and Fundibéra?
Which weapon would that... Ooh, that's a good question, isn't it? Because this has to do also with what Eldrida would think of is better.
Yeah,
Like...
to serve the moon goddess. I don't know.
Okay, I'll give you this then. You're looking over these weapons and asking the moon goddess for guidance for which of these weapons. And you do get a vision. You're not sure that you're dreaming. Maybe you just nodded off and you have a dream. Or you're actually seeing a vision. And in one moment, you see yourself talking to the dagger. It is answering your questions. In another moment, you see yourself with the scimitar. And you're wielding it. Let's see, where did it go? I know. No, that's not the one. No. There we go. You are wielding it. You're facing off basically against a zombie, and it's just slicing the thing in two. And then comes the skeleton, and the scimitar just touches the thing, and it just collapses.
Knowledge or power? I like it. Well, I live in the present and tomorrow's not gone for, so I'm going to go with the scimitar.
Very good. So...
And I'm going to reserve the dagger. I also think that the dagger, if it is knowledge related, might be a better fit for Sifanu. So I'm going to reserve that for him instead of leaving him with, nothing. So, so yeah, I'm a nice person.
You are indeed, yes. So now you have swordplay, we say. And you have powerful weapon.
Mm-hmm. And I apologize if you hear my cat meowing. She's losing her mind back there.
Cats can be like that.
Pepper.
And everybody else, I guess, is sleeping, which is nice for you guys.
Except when we're on watch, I suppose. Sure.
Sifanu, I believe, had a concussion. And I'm going to actually have Perima treat that concussion before going to bed, spending one of my fate dice.
This is Pepper.
Hi, Pepper.
Hi.
She's making all kinds of noises and being a monster, huh?
There we go. See? She's nice at this, isn't she?
That NPC is the best NPC, I'm just telling you.
Yep. She is, in fact, curing Sifanu's concussion with that roll. Isn't that nice? That was his temporary condition, but she will simply... particularly now that you're on the glacier, her power is that much stronger, so I should have actually added dice to that, but it succeeded anyway.
We're real Perima fans around here.
You are indeed. So I'm gonna say that you would be by the campfire, I suppose. This is gonna take a scene, which is gonna be what? How long a scene? A couple of hours? Maybe it's 2 a.m. Sound like that?
Mm-hmm.
Is Eldrida going to bed then?
Yes, unless I need to take a watch, then yeah, I'll be going to bed after my...
You have Nefria's Reavers who can take all the watches if you want them to.
Great, I go to bed.
Very well. I'm gonna say that it's early in the morning. It is not quite, the type of time in the morning that you would like it to be, because you would like to have some more rest, let's face it. So I'm gonna give Eldrida 1 point of exhaustion anyway, because unlike that, she hasn't slept enough. When there is a howl coming from outside, the rest of you have slept, so you're fine.
This is what I get for leveling up. Just letting you all know when it's your turn.
I spring out of bed, throw on my boots, throw on all of my, warm stuff, and go kind of like flopping out into the cold to see what the howling is about.
One of the wolfkin will come rushing towards your tent. They're coming. The bog people coming.
The green people?
Dead people walking.
Oh, yeah. I suppose, do we want to fight them here or wait till we get to the Shagulites and sort of jump the Shagulites together?
I mean, are they heading towards us or are they just kind of going past us?
I don't know.
I think they'd have to get here.
Pretty much.
I'm thinking we retreat a ways back onto the ice and try to see if they'll go past us and maybe follow them and sneak into the Iron Tower past the chaos they'll no doubt create.
This whole time, Artegu's just putting on his armor. It's a long
strike
process.
the camp then and move really quickly towards the side, because or are you gonna abandon your tents? What are we saying here?
We're gonna. I would say we strike the camp quickly. I don't want to be.
Yeah, we're not leaving all the stuff we need to survive.
Yeah.
And no, Eldrida, I don't think we stop and fight the undead horde here. Nothing has materially changed since the last time we decided not to stop and fight the undead horde. Except now they probably have magic weapons if they want them. Except
Great.
now they probably...
I, too, may or may not have a secret weapon. The moon goddess
Who was
offers
talking
many
about
images.
secret weapons?
Well, a magic weapon, secret.
Oh, I'm so confused.
Revealed by Fundibéra.
All right, so you have a secret
Yes.
weapon that may or may not be magic.
No,
So
I have a
it's
magic weapon, but I know it's secret.
Ah. Okay.
Try to keep up, Artegue.
I'm just, suddenly we're talking about magic weapons and there were secret weapons, so I didn't know if you had a weapon I don't know about because it would ostensibly
No, while you
be
were
a secret.
sleeping, I went on a vision quest, and the goddess granted me a vision.
That's why you look so haggard this morning.
Yep.
Yep.
Rude.
When you've been all night partying, I imagine you look worse.
I mean, I usually sleep in the next morning.
I haven't. I was interrupted rudely by an undead army.
I
Right.
will be able to tell you that you can, in fact, see shapes on the glacier moving slowly towards you.
Yeah, okay, so who wants to bet they're coming after the things we stole from them?
Let's
They
see if
are
they
in
go
the
past
distance. But you are moving off towards the east, obviously, because that's, deeper
west.
into the glacier. And unfortunately, I have to say that they will not be walking past. They will be changing directions towards you.
All right.
They're not necessarily moving fast, though.
Parama? I
Yes.
know it's a terrible way to wake up, but so the last time you let us cross the glacier, you helped us avoid some really gnarly crevices and whatnot. Is there any chance you could find one of those, lead us around it, and then let the undead, the restless kind of
Fall
come
in.
to rest at the bottom of it?
I can certainly try, she says.
I'll take your try any day, Parama.
She will roll for... That's just me using another of my own fate dice. Is that fair?
It's all part of our plan.
Since she is, in fact, on the Komorda Glacier, she is extra powerful, so...
Ooh.
That is 3 successes, one of
The
them
best
being a
NPC,
6.
I'm just saying.
Such a good druid.
You will be able to see in the distance, she's basically sitting down and meditating on the ice, and in the distance, a crack opens up, and these shapes that you saw walking there, they just tumble down into it. It's like, yeah, gone. They are walking there, and then suddenly, gone.
Oh no.
Guys,
I quietly whisper to Artegue, "Don't make my druid friend angry."
your druid friend is my druid friend, Eldrida. That's... Okay,
I'm
then.
scared. I'm scared of this little woman now.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like we're not the main characters. Like we're just here to support Paramount.
We're actually the villains of the story. Okay, that's what I'm coming up with.
You know what I realized? I didn't give you guys a fate die for fulfilling the Kvur prophecy regarding their masters. So I'm going to do that
Yay.
now. You all get a fate die.
Yay.
We
Be
get
very
fate die
happy.
for fulfilling their prophecy by giving the great.
Any prophecy. It's just, that's usually that's the first evil prophecy perhaps that we fulfilled.
Well, I'm just
Congratulations.
wondering, in the other people that have run this scenario, how many players arm the undead army? I just want to know. Like,
I want to know how many players missed raising the undead army. Okay, cool. So,
I
so we're
say
kind of
nothing.
waiting. We're kind of waiting here for the giants, then. Is that still the
Parama
plan?
will keep leading you towards the Iron Tower. She is eager and wants to get there. And she will also say that these are white wastes, right? It's really easy to spot people here, particularly such a big group as we are here, because it's 12 Wolfkin, 3 NPCs, including Parama, and the 4 of you. So it's literally like 20 people walking across the ice. It's hard to not to see that from a long, long way away, particularly when you're as tall as a giant is. She has perfect faith in them being able to catch up to you.
Good enough. Onward then.
I'm so glad for the local knowledge.
Right.
Yes. So, onwards towards new adventures, potentially by the Iron Tower. It should take you about 2 days to get there, in Parama's estimate. That's a reasonable guess on her part. I'm gonna roll a roll, because I can do that. I'm the GM, I'm allowed to.
Da-da-da. Then you're going to tell us what the weather is, too.
Cold. Turns out snowy.
It is, yeah. How cold is it today? On this fairly nice day, actually. Why does it always roll that? A light to moderate amount of snow, and 1 degree Fahrenheit, so hashtag not warm.
Not warm. So during these 2 days, are we gonna like narrate over them, or are we gonna do some traveling, Mikhail? Are you gonna jump us?
No, I'm gonna basically jump you more or less. It's you know.
Okay.
Yeah, you will get to over in 1 day. You will be over there on the map, just about.
So hopefully I heal from my exhaustion during this time.
If you get a night's sleep, yes. You can't rest while you're marching, because
That would be
obviously
great.
then you're marching. But by the end of this day, in fact, I'm gonna say that you do meet the giants, and you haven't seen the grandson yet, have you? He is an
No.
interesting fella. So let me introduce you. Where did that go? There it is. So, Great Thule. I made a token for him.
Hey, buddy.
And his
Looks like
grandson.
Santa.
Oh. Oh, hey there.
Oh, yeah. He is an intense fella, let's just say. You see them in the distance long before you meet them, of course, because if they can spot you from far away, you can spot them from far away as well. Great Thule is carrying that long tree trunk, really, that's what it is, which could pass as a club, I guess. And he has replaced his toque with a bell, like the type of bells that temples will have to ring for mass. That's his helmet. His grandson, fairly coarse features, looks like a brute, to be quite honest. He has his very big arms, and was he human-sized? He would be about the size of Sir Artegue, muscly, well-built, built like a wrestler, arms as a lumberjack, with covered by a lot of hair. A hairy fella, this one. His vest, if you will, or tunic, because it's sleeveless, is made from polar bears' pelts that he has stitched together. And he is carrying, on his legs, he has greaves. You don't know quite what kind of material. It looks like huge carapace. Imagine, if you will, a lobster shield, but in a gigantic format. And he carries these on his legs as greaves. And he has a huge cauldron as a helmet. And he carries an axe that is the size of Grand Thul's tree trunk. It's basically a huge tree. He has just removed all the branches from it and put this enormous double-billed axe head on top of it. This thing can... I strongly recommend not trying to parry it.
Can't imagine why.
Indeed.
Well, he's currently my favorite giant.
He is indeed, huh? And they will meet up there with you guys on the ice, and Grand Thul is... So we go. Most of my kin are leaving as the glacier is getting too warm for our kind. But the Red Tunics have called us, and we will honor the ancient oath. I brought my grandson, as he is young and has never experienced battle yet. His name is Basimor.
Basimor.
Yep.
Very
Basimor
nice to
nods
meet you.
and tries to do some kind of bow towards Perima. So yeah, you have two giants.
I have a question.
Yep.
Great Thul. Did you if the glacier is getting warm, is not Kamorda buried here? Is it not him protecting something below?
Oh, you would have to ask the druids about that.
I turn to Parama.
Well, yes, that is what the priests told me. That is what we say, that Kamorda is protecting from a great evil.
One of these tectons?
Yes, no, the Tectons are not evil. They just are. No, there is some kind of great evil,
Furion.
but I do not know which one.
No, the
Okay,
Furions aren't bad guys either. Those are also not bad guys.
Shields around Furions. Okay. Sorry, I'm going back on my notes in the legend. What happens if Kamorda and the glacier that he is effectively melt?
I do not know. I am really worried, to be honest, she says. If Morda disappears, then perhaps a great evil will be unleashed upon the world.
I'm wondering if that wound in the earth, Artegue, with the blood bull thing had something to do with it. Obviously has something to do with the warming and the release of whatever's underneath.
Yeah, entirely possible, since the earth doesn't like it being there and wants it healed. But again, we decided to retreat from that area.
Well,
then we decided to retreat again over my objection. So there's nothing I can do about it now. So
I think that us facing off against an entire army is probably not the best.
You guys couldn't.
We'll
even
get it on the way back.
Couldn't even get us to turn around when there were just 4 of them in the room. Come on.
We'll get them on the way back.
Sure. Okay. Then on the way back, we can have questions about this wound in the earth being related to the death of the glacier, which is entirely possible. There's just nothing we can do about it right now.
Shaggy Lights first. Gotcha. Let's do it.
So I was hoping Nefria could talk to the giants and come up with some kind of. Okay, I've never been in a fight with a giant. I'm not particularly sure what their strengths are, aside from being enormous and super strong. I'm not sure how to properly utilize giants when attacking an enormous iron tower. Thought maybe the giants might have some ideas.
Okay. So I look up at oh goodness, what is the grandfather's name?
Great Thule.
Great Thule, thank you. I look all the way up at Great Thule and I ask him, hey, what's the best way to fight alongside you guys?
Oh, that is a good question, he says. I have never been in a battle with little people before. In fact, there haven't been many battles that we have been involved with in a mighty long time.
I apologize. I was wrong.
So, how far can you see from all the way up there?
Oh,
What kind of vantage?
I can see many stretches all the way to the horizon. Asking him about how far that is in your, because they probably don't measure things the same way you do. So if I'm thinking, so the scale of these giants are about the same scale as the giants in like Game of Thrones. No?
I'm sorry you missed me on that one.
Okay.
How about the treants in Lord of the Rings 2?
Yeah, that's about the same size.
The two towers.
Yeah,
Thank you.
the two towers.
The two towers.
Yes,
They
that
are
would
the
be
size
it.
of Tree Bear.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
I'm only familiar with those the size of Ents in relation to hobbits, not man.
Oh, stop.
You reach
Stop.
their kneecaps. That's about as far as you
Oh,
go.
All right. So we can presume they can see a good long way.
So I mean,
it's
I
really
can
just simple
calculate here,
trigonometry to figure
line of
that out.
sight, line
Now
of
let's just go kill some green men. That's
ocean.
and try not to get squashed.
Well, I wonder, like, did the giants also do they have any like strategic information about the tower?
Oh well, they can tell you that the tower, says Great Thule, is in an old crater of volcano. Now, we used to go there a great many times in the olden days when I was a young lad, as the mountain folk built the tower there, and they were nice to get along with. But since these green men came there, we do not go, and it is taboo for us to enter the crater itself. Always has been.
What happens when you do?
We do not go there, no.
Is there any punishment that happens? You guys just don't? You avoid at all costs, or you go there and snakes fall from the sky?
We have not violated the taboo, so I would not know exactly.
It's the tower in the crater that they're not allowed to enter.
Yes, the tower is in the crater. They're not allowed to enter. That's correct.
Check. All right.
So you can. I've brought out a scale thing here. Just let's see now. On a clear day, city buildings can be seen from 50 miles away when you are 6 miles up. Yeah, you're not going to be 6 miles up. If you're 150 feet up, you can see 16 miles. There we go.
Okay. Still a good long ways.
A good long way, yes. They're hardly, so if you're to their kneecaps, that's a quarter of the, so you're 6 feet tall, times 4, they're 24 feet, something like that, so, yeah. They would be able to see...
Probably a little more than even, but yeah, still. I think what I'm hearing here is that we're going to have to actually get to the tower, scout it out, or scout out the exterior, to then figure out a way that we ourselves can get inside or get some information, and if our giants can be useful, since they cannot like bust down the tower wall for us. Though they could throw Great Thule, I assume you guys could like throw enormous boulders at the tower from a distance, and that would be not breaking your taboo.
That we can do.
Okay.
Artillery. Cool.
Like, it's just options, you know, you never know.
I mean,
then
one of those fists, right? Take a rock there. It's basically your own trebuchet, right there.
So, if we can maybe find a way to well, I mean, first get a view around the area, then like see if we can get our hands on a Shagulite and ask some questions about the interior there. And I suppose before we go, I need to get 2 pieces of clarification. Piece of clarification number 1. So I know particularly Eldrida, you have a problem and generally object to the whole killing people thing.
Without good reason.
You and I disagree as to what's a good reason. Anyway, that's really beside the point. I'm looking for, in this case, how do you feel about killing them?
Shagulites?
Yeah. Like, are we
Shagulites
going to need to debate this, or...?
No, Shagulites are evil folk who were once corrupted my homeland and were cast out centuries ago. Then they came here, turns out, and did the same thing to the folks in Majora. At least that's what I recall being told.
It's fascinating, though, that you're completely resistant to the Tricorians oppressing my homeland.
No,
Anyway,
I didn't say that. I'm perfectly. I snuck into an Artegue. I snuck into an alchemist's camp and blew it up and effectively murdered him. Okay, so he's like.
When did that happen?
He didn't get blown up necessarily, but he didn't make it.
He got a rash.
He didn't make it. He died. Right? Trevinder Del Holmes, the alchemist, he didn't make it.
No, the alchemist is Suludan Rumperlak, not Trevinder de Holmes.
So did the alchemist make it?
Yep.
I don't know either of those names. Okay.
I have notes. Okay, like.
That alchemist, he's alive. He just got a rash. Put a little aloe on that.
All right, well, I'll go back and take care of that because yeah.
But again, we're not there. We can't do anything about it right now.
Okay. But just to be clear,
we can murder Shagulites.
Yes, and just to be clear, cool. we can also murder Tricorian oppressors. Okay, I just don't.
Okay.
I just don't think that all of Tricoria is full of oppressors.
Well, I don't want to go around killing like Tricorian children or something. I don't want to. I mean, unless I really had to make a
okay, guys, let's.
So
let's
my second question, though. Sorry, Parama. Again, to see the laughs. This is all a joke. Second question: what's our win condition here, guys? What we walk away when?
When it's minimum. At minimum, what's his face that got away before? The boyfriend, Melobin, the love of Parama's sister. When he dies, is the killed.
Gotcha. Okay, that's a good goal. Nefria?
Well, if it turns out that a certain someone also happens to be at the Iron Tower, a gentleman by the name of Fingolf Silverhammer, I'm gonna want to either take him or handle him.
What's a Fingolf Silverhammer, Nefria?
He's a dude.
He's a dude.
He's the son of like a noble fellow, and I gotta take care of some things for some people.
I'd also like to recover any of the Shagulites, magical holdings or items or things like that, and anything that they stole from the Druids to return to Parama.
Gotcha. I just want you to know, by the way, Eldrida, to the best of my knowledge, we're not going to run into any of my exes around here. Unlike Sifanu and Nefria, who apparently have somebody in every port.
I guess so. Okay.
Also, for Sifanu, I think that a nice shiny magic something or perhaps a new scroll would be good for him.
Sure. So, for instance, any of that magic gear or druid stuff we recover from the Shagulites, Sifanu can have first dibs on. Like
Just a little
salvage
bit.
rights.
Yeah.
Maybe if Sifanu doesn't raise an undead army this time, we can go through with that. I think that would be helpful.
Sifanu did not raise an undead army. There was an eons-old, powerful necromancy spell that raised an undead army.
As
It
far
sounds
as
like
I'm
the gods
aware,
did it.
I took this magical weapon, made something mad, and Sifanu raised a magical army from the dead. I'm just saying.
That's, I think that's a very ungenerous take on things. Okay, cool. So I think, I'm happy with all of that. Honestly, I just want to find the head Shagulite and beat them with a hammer until they stop moving. But I have a very dim. I take a very dim view. These poor druids seem pretty inoffensive. Like
They literally
don't think they were
poisoned
hurting
them.
anybody.
They poisoned them and then killed them in their sleep and took all their stuff. So we're gonna take it back.
I feel like we did that to the alchemist.
Nope, he's still alive. Turns out.
And he was a bad guy to start with. See, my problem is the druids look like they were really not, oppressing the local population or murdering babies or kidnapping people and doing experiments on them or severing
off people's
limbs and
feet?
leaving
Yeah,
around
what
town.
about-
Yeah.
I didn't hear the
Wow.
Kors complaining, so I feel like that's fair. Giants seem okay with the druids. I think that's a good take.
Yeah,
So, really, I think the druids didn't deserve this shit, and that kind of annoys me.
yeah. Parama, is there anything specific that you want from this?
She will sigh deeply. I mean, she's been really introspective and thinking as you were being discussing between yourselves. I am so happy that I have found the four of you, the five of you, and she includes Briar as well. I do not know what I would have done without you. I would have been completely lost. On my shoulders now rests the fate of the last Khmorda druid. Somehow I will waken the power of Khmorda, and I can only hope that it is in the destruction of the Shagolite sect that I do so. I do not know. We will see when we get there, I suppose. I have the head of that we found. The sacred head. I
Yes.
will bring it out and we will see if it can help us.
Okay.
Okay.
Destruction of Shagulite sect. That's what I heard.
Yep.
No, yep. And that's where I got hit. Like, the young lady wants a genocide, she'll have a genocide.
Let's go.
She's been wronged here. I mean,
I don't know if you would technically count the Shagolites as their own ethnicity as such.
well, there's certainly their own
But
weird
their own religion,
culture.
yes. Okay.
Oh
fair
yeah,
enough.
sure, religion.
On
yep.
religious basis, yes. Yeah. Okay, that's a fair call.
We take this one step further, and I'm going to start calling this a crusade. So let's.
All
Okay.
right.
Anything else we need to do in advance? Did you want to... I know you mentioned days ago, Eldrida, that you wanted to make a potion. Do you want to
Yes,
do that
I want to make a
before we go?
wildfire. I
Oh, you wanna
have.
make a potion now?
Well,
do you have the stuff needed to make a potion? The game master asked. Oh, you do.
So
'cause you
I have-
your
I have
apothecary's
5.
bag.
Yeah, I have 5 stuff
Yes.
worth to make either healing or alchemical brews.
Yep.
So how many can I make in a rest?
And you do have the wildfire recipe, so you could make that. Lovely. If you want to take the afternoon off and have Eldrida make potions instead of traveling, because you can't travel and make potions at the same time, that is of course a possibility for you. So let's do that then.
Is that what you guys want to do? It'll slow us down our arrival a little bit.
I feel like an arming up montage before we
Yes.
storm the keep is entirely appropriate. Yeah.
Indeed,
Okay,
that is what it is. It's
You know, I'm gonna-
definitely- arming up. You're taking the afternoon to make some potions, and
Can I
since
do
you-
all 5?
What was that?
Can I do all 5 or no?
Let's have a look.
I don't want to make all 5 wildfire. I'm just asking if I can make up all 5.
crafting. Let's see. So, you need raw materials, appropriate tools, and at least one scene of work for a single type of potion. Every 6 you roll allows you to add 1 artifact bonus to the. No, that was the creating artifacts thing. Sorry. Potions. That's what we're.
Oh, I'd like to do that too.
You have no smithy here. If you have the potion maker ability, you can make potions of various effects. So you decide which type of potion you want to make, and I set the difficulty and what ingredients you need, and you roll wind and spend at least 1 fate die. And you have your stuff around for making wildfire if you want to make it. Let's see now. So the number of 6s determines how many you make. If you roll a single 6, you make 1 dose of it, and it works as intended without any side effects. If you roll 2 6s, the potion works as intended, and you can make up to 10 doses
Oh wow,
of that
Okay.
single type.
those 2 6s
So-
is where it's at.
So I spend at least 1 fate die. I can spend more.
You
Only
cannot
up to your
spend more
potion.
because you don't have more in potion making.
Okay, so I'm rolling 3 fate die for this only.
You're rolling 1 fate die and
Yeah, two. I'm sorry, 2
win, yes.
regular. Okay, let's see.
And
how
since
many
you're
I
out in the glacier, I'm not going to give you bonuses for having a nice lab or whatever. This is you're
Mhm.
making things in the wild here, so it's a bit more. If you were in a lab with that is fully equipped with everything you ever possibly need, you could get extra dice for that, but not this time.
Well, let's give it a go.
3
we're
dice.
We're gonna try to make wildfire.
Indeed. That is indeed 1 dose of wildfire.
I thought it was
However,
6s that I needed.
no 6s that you needed, and that means that it has a side effect. You almost make it as it should be, but not quite.
Can I try
So-
to re-roll using my? I used wildfire to attract Dracorian barracks,
Absolutely.
and so what? I need a 5 or 6. Is that right?
I mean, you can reroll. I would argue that you could reroll the 4 and the 1 because you need a 6, and
Yeah.
the 4 doesn't make any difference.
Okay. I'll re-roll those 2. Nope.
Nope, no better. Unfortunately, it was a good attempt though. So, what is the side effect of this thing?
Give some
Some
rash.
kind of side effect.
Well, I'm thinking if it's so wildfire is just like a big boom. It's basically right. Molotov cocktail, or what's the?
Yes, let's have a look. It says under your potion making ability, I believe. There we go. Wildfire recipe. Provided you have the right. Okay, it doesn't say. God, maybe I didn't put it down properly in our English language rule set, but I am sure there will be some extra here. Potions. Potions. Page 100.
I wish I could read Swedish.
Indeed. Wildfire. Okay. A successful attack with wildfire. Okay, it just says that it will automatically set fire on a building, so I'm gonna trade it like, what do we call it? Some kind of napalm-ish type of substance. And it's gonna burn horribly when it flames in contact with water specifically. It's designed to start burning when it connects with water.
We're on a
That's how
glacier.
you've been fighting the Dracorian Navy. If you want to make some alternative to that, just as a Molotov cocktail, you can do that, and then it's going to be like fire damage to whomever you throw it at, or it's going to set fire to things. But apparently it has a side effect of some kind that will make things a little bit more difficult for you. And what kind of side effect would that be? Is it dangerously flammable? Can it start...
That's what I'm thinking, is that it's going to make a an uncontrollable kind of thing. So like it could harm our party or something like that. It could go outside of the only napalm bomb, you know.
Right.
Does that work, or?
Sure. I mean, it's a risk, and that means that... Okay, so if someone fails to throw it, it's going to explode in their hand. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's jot that down. That can get interesting.
Be careful with this one.
Exactly. Careful with this one. I'm going to advance the time a couple of hours. You can still travel another few hours if you want.
During that time, I would like to have put together the 3 Molotov cocktails I have in my riot gear.
Ah, yes.
As well as prepared from my sketchbook-related art supplies, some green paint.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are we gonna do like a camouflage thing?
We'll either that, or we're going to maybe try to sneak in as a Shagulite, whatever we may need it for.
Ah, yes. That's an interesting strategy. I'm looking forward to that.
While the 2 of them are doing that, Artegu's not really to have much to prepare. He's going to take the new light drinking, clearly anti-magic black sword off his back.
Oh yeah,
just
it's
swing it.
Anti-magic black sword.
that sword. It's quite warm to the touch by now.
Oh, good. So it wasn't warm to the touch before.
Nope.
Oh, it's
Good.
been
What a
eating
delight.
light.
It's really quite warm.
So Artegu's gonna swing it around a little bit, maybe stab at a bit of ice on the glacier and just see if it does anything cool. That's the extent of his ability to mystically inspect a weapon.
Yes. No, not really.
Swing it around, stab things.
Since it's not a magic weapon, you can't actually sense its magic, even though you do know something of that, right? But yeah, you will swing it around. It's let's have a look here. What your impression as a professional swordsman, or hammerman in this case, but you know your way around a sword too in a pinch, no doubt about that. It's made out of a single piece of black metal, and as you are touching it and feeling it, there is something carved on it, like a rune or something, but you can't see it. It's a clumsy weapon. It's not terribly well balanced, in your opinion. But the edge of the sword, the blade, is very sharp indeed. And there isn't a single scratch on this. There isn't a notch on the edge. There's no blemish on this blade at all. Even though it's sat down there for you don't know how long.
But yes, it wasn't actually magic, but I mean, it's still obviously unusual.
Indeed.
Excellent. Back onto the back it goes. Gonna stick with the trusty demon smiting hammer.
Yep. It's it's warm. It's
warm.
It's getting warmer too. It's a good thing that it's a cold day outside. Otherwise, this would be uncomfortably warm to hold on to.
Wonder if it's finally like absorbing the sunlight. It's been in a crypt for how long, and darkness. We could try, if you want, we can put a bag over it or something to keep it from being directly exposed to sunlight.
No, I kind of want to see what happens.
What if it explodes for too much sunlight?
Well, it'll set up your napalm, and away we go.
TPK, that's what happens. Let's go.
Well, I suppose we'll see, but I don't. With the obvious age of the weapon and the fact that someone clearly crafted it like this, I suppose it doesn't make sense to me that it would be crafted to explode if, you know, the most present thing out all the time would, ruin your
valid.
item.
Okay.
Because we're far enough to the pole that, you know, days are very long during some seasons. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that it's gonna take maybe up to half an hour before it gets so hot that you can't even hold it anymore. And at that point, when it goes down into the snow and ice, it's gonna melt the snow and ice.
All
right.
We should wrap it in something.
So now Eldrida wins, so we wrap it up in the bag.
You will need a scabbard for this thing sooner or later.
Clearly. I also didn't bring a leather maker with me. It's unfortunate.
This is absolutely true. While all of you are doing that, I'm going to say that Sifanu, or do we want to let Goat do this, explore his weapon when he's actually here? Yes, that would be nicer.
Yeah.
So I'll not have Sifanu study the dagger just yet. All right.
The dagger is the only thing that came with the scabbard, it looks like.
Yep. I mean, technically the two-handed sword did as well, but that scabbard just kind of crackled and fell to pieces when you lifted it, so...
Right.
So, you have made one dose of unstable... It's like nitroglycerin at this point, isn't it? You made yourself some nitro there. Unstable Molotov cocktail.
Big bada boom.
Big bada boom. Are we marching on a little bit towards the Iron Tower before the end of the day? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Unless anyone doesn't want to.
So, okay, so just to be clear, the Iron Towers is sitting in a crater, so they're not necessarily going to see us coming on the glacier.
In theory, yes.
Cool. We got that going for us. Onward.
I mean, we have two big giants with us. They'll probably see them before they see us.
Mm-hmm.
Last of their kind.
All right. I'm going to remove the giants because they're now part of the group.
Oh no, the poor giants.
And I'm also going to say that you keep moving a little bit further during the day, but not that much further. So you will have to spend another night on the ice because you did the whole things with the potions. Completely overcast with some snow flurries possible today. And very cold.
Well, if I got the sword for that.
You do.
Oh, how do the giants spend the night?
They're used to the cold. They don't even notice it. It's like, yeah, whatever.
They're bivouacking, just out there under the stars.
Yep, just sleeping.
Burrowed in
right
like
on top of
huskies.
the ice. Yep.
Isn't the young one basically in short sleeves?
Yeah, he is. Perima also does not notice the cold at all. She's walking in what for anyone else is a summer dress. Like the red algae silk tunic she has is a summer dress for anyone else. Like her knees are exposed. She's walking bare feet on this glacier. Or well, sandals at the very most.
Frosty.
But now I will give Eldrida a chance to recuperate her exhaustion.
Yay.
Yay.
And so we come towards the Iron Tower itself, and it's going to be in the middle of the day of Misiska the 20... Wait. 21st when you left. 22nd you spent walking all day. Early 24th, I think. Yes, I must have missed a day there. Yes, there we go. Noon the 24th. That is where we end up. And it's not a blizzard because I said it was completely overcast. And I will introduce to you the map that no one can see because I didn't configure it properly. It shouldn't be. There we go. Okay.
We're professionals here, people.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Never doubt. There we go. Can we see anything now? Nope. Okay. Configure permissions. Ah, that's why. Owner. No, you guys should be able to see, but observer can't see. That's why.
No, I see black.
What? Okay, I still haven't done the right settings. I never get used to the right settings for this. Token vision, okay. Okay, there we go. That's better. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay, this is my attempt to replicate the map from the book, which is not that much prettier. You're approaching the crater ring. This is what it is. It's a crater ring. Mm-hmm. And as you're slowly approaching it, there is a path up there somehow. But Sifanu and the giants, I'm gonna say, will notice things on the way. Because there is, in fact, some kind of really big bird flying around the crater. More than one.
The fuzzer? No, we had something like this fly overhead earlier, didn't we?
You did indeed.
And it wasn't a fuzzard.
You will recall, in fact, and Sifanu can remind you, because he has lots of wind, that there was some kind of demon thing that flew away on really big bat wings when you left, when you just entered the compound to the Khmorda temple. And these, yeah, they could be that kind of a thing. It's the right size.
Yeah. I assume they're bad.
They're certainly bad. I mean, all demons generally are bad, but we know that Nefria can scare them off with a stream of invective, so we'll be safe. But
what's this red stuff that looks like blood back here?
Oh, that would be lava.
Lava, good.
Yes. It is warmer around here. You've left the glacier behind by now, because the ground around here is a good deal warmer than the rest of the area. It's here you're back into like temperate types of temperatures, and even if the air is still freezing, further away from the crater, the closer you get, the warmer it gets.
Artegue, are you getting any feelings from the earth here, and there being a wound here or some kind of harm?
Well, I can say that this looks like a volcano.
Well, yes, but
I suppose I can stop and ask the earth if you'd like, but it's not like screaming out to grab my attention. Then again, the earth usually doesn't.
Will it give you, I mean, do you think it would be helpful if you stopped and asked for, reconnaissance purposes to know what we're going into?
It could, or it could not. It's very hard to answer that question.
I understand how
I could, if you'd like, I could certainly commune with the earth and see if the earth knows anything particularly useful, but I will also say, of course, that asking it for anything useful reconnaissance-wise is not a good question. We need to be a little more specific. The Earth doesn't really care for short-lived things like you or me.
Well, I default to your expertise then. If you want to ask it about, the wound here, or if there is a wound here, where it might be located, or what kind of, what one might be walking into. I don't really know.
Mikhail, does this, I suppose, is there anything weird about this volcano and associated crater? Or is there anything that looks or seems magical about it?
I don't think you're close enough, really. I mean, you'd have to get up on the ridge to see into the crater to have a better feeling about that. So this is just because it looks like a mountain chain here, because Wonder Draft doesn't allow me to do an actual volcano thing. This is a crater. It's a mountain with a crater on top, and you will be climbing up one side there, where there is a very thin path. Some kind of animals, maybe, or people have been walking up this path at some point, often enough to make a path, which tells you that there might be, maybe it's the old remains of a road. You will remember that Great Thule did speak about how the mountain folk created this iron tower. Maybe the Shagalite traffic from Arham could have maintained this as some kind of sparse road, though there's certainly no pavement here to speak of.
Okay, I suppose, I tell you, I suppose can't really think of a reason not to. So if everyone else is cool with it, Artegue will commune with the stone. Yeah, assuming that we're down, he'll recruit Eldrida to, start chanting something very softly and slowly, and he'll recruit Nefria to, trace patterns into the rock once we're actually at the rock, while Artegue kneels down and tastes the stone.
Ah, very good. So you're making... You get help from someone. That's what we're saying.
Yes, I'm turning it into a ritual so that I can get aid. Yes,
that is indeed the matter. So I'm going to give you an extra fate die for that. And since you are also taking the help of Eldrida, I'm going to give you another extra... no, not a fate die, an extra base die.
Yes.
So you get 2 extra base dice for turning it into that particular type of exercise. And then, of course, you do have to spend an actual fate die for doing your tectonic
and
summons.
My base 3 stone on top of the fate die should leave me at 6.
Yes, indeed. Whoa!
Hey! Scraping on by.
Now
two
comes the
sixes.
question for you, sir. Do you want to hide your working from other spellcasters around here?
I'm
If
gonna
so,
go with yes. That's a bare necessity, as it were.
Then spend another fate die, which doesn't add to the roll at all. It's just one thing you do to hide your workings. And
One
I mean,
extra
I'm not
fate
saying that there are other spellcasters around, but the Iron Towers.
Yeah, there's certainly no the Shagulites. They don't know anything about magic. This is fine. This is fine.
Exactly.
There was a guy with demons, but I'm sure they don't know any kind of magic to summon demons. Again, this is fine.
Right? Quite fine.
Okay.
Quite fine.
I'm just here for the witchy communing with nature. I burned
You
some
have
smoke stuff around you.
Just managed to pull off an extraordinary feat of magic for being a novice. With 2 6s, that gives you a power level 3 type of spell. And what was the intended effect again? You said you wanted to
I want to commune with the earth,
commune with the earth.
or the mount, or this
you must,
mountain specifically. I don't know how good that is.
You communed so
Succeed
hard
with-
you impregnated it too.
It's a difficult,
Yes!
yeah, exactly. It's a difficulty level 2, and you pass gallantly with 3 successes. You get to ask a number of questions equal to your degree of success plus 1, which is 3 questions. So yes, 3 questions. As you talk
How are
to them.
degrees of success determined?
The numbers of 6s are your degrees of success.
Okay,
basically.
cool. I was just curious. Okay, so 3Zs. So first one, Artegue will inquire with the stone and taste after whether or not it has a sense of hurt. Like, are you wounded? here.
You sit down, or is that how you do it? You sit down, you lick the earth.
Yeah, I
and
gotta taste it.
You taste it, and as such, you feel the spirit underneath your hands, your feet, the very bones of the earth, and this mountain, this crater shall speak to you. No. The answer is no. It's a slumbering thing that does have a bit of a temper, which is not surprising. It is a volcano. Volcanoes do tend to be temperamental. For being mountains, they are very active and often get angry. Often by the mountain way of reckoning, which is, every 100 years or 500 years or what have you.
Far more frequently than any other kind of mountain.
Yes, indeed. Yes, they are the most fiery of mountains, if you will. The fire element is strong here.
Artegue will then ask the mountain, if there are any entrance or if there are any entrances to the iron, or I suppose start that over. Artegue will ask where the entrances to the Iron Tower are.
Entrances. Oh, there are several entrances. Yes. The mountain folk made a walkway over the crater once, and there is a hole on the side below it, going around on the far side. There is also a hole, 2 holes underneath. One hole is used by the little people inside. They throw things down there. Often my fire burns the things. The other hole was made by the mountain folk when they made the tower. It has an anvil hanging on a thin thread. Interesting that. I don't know why they would have made a thing that can cause their whole tower to come crashing down into me, but they did. Yes. A silver anvil. I never liked silver much.
So smart.
Okay. All right, so there's a hole in there somewhere with a silver anvil. Check. My third and final question before I return you to your contemplation of much longer things. There are bad, evil folk in the tower working against the will of the gods and the will of the spirits, and who are torturing who replaced the mountain folk who built this place. We are here to crush them, and I would like to beg your aid should I call upon it.
My aid, should you call upon it?
These are very bad people working against the Tectons. There you go. That's the best I got for it.
I like you. Yes. I can help, I suppose. My best.
It's a volcano.
It is a volcano. Oh dear, you're gonna make it explode.
Well, I mean,
Can we please recover anything of significance and then not be in it when it explodes, ideally?
yeah, ideally, but don't you want the ability to make the volcano explode in your back pocket just in case?
You could
I
create
mean, yes.
an
The
earthquake.
answer is yes.
Basically, you could make an earthquake.
Or I will keep that in our back pocket as the volcano, and I'll in the future I may have to throw magic at the volcano to get its attention.
Yep. So just for your reference there, to make a wall or like a ramparts for a castle come down, that's a difficulty of 2 depending on how thick those walls are. So you'll still have to succeed with... Now you've established a connection with the mountain, or the spirits of the mountain here. You would have to succeed quite well to pull, a very, very dramatic feat off. But you might also be able to do things that just give you momentary help, like in a combat turn, like a slight earthquake. That would be a good deal easier in difficulty 1, basically. So I want to make my enemies in a particular area fall down to an earthquake. Maybe a 1 or a 2, depending on how big the area would be. Things like that.
Yep. But also importantly, when I do then suddenly need to call on it mid-combat for some reason, it's not innately anti-creationist.
This is correct. This is absolutely correct.
I can still make it anti-creationist, but it doesn't start that way now.
You're quite right.
Okay, cool. Artegue stops licking the earth and gets up off his hands and knees and turns to Party and goes, well, it is not wounded here, Eldrida. No, this is just a normal volcano. It is, however, a normal volcano. So it was, strangely, it was, only slightly hard to convince it that it didn't like the people currently living inside it. I also determined, there are several entrances that the volcano thinks of as holes to the Iron Tower. The mountain folk made a walkway over the crater. There's a hole on the side of the tower below it. I believe there was a hole around a walkway on the other side, and there were 2 holes underneath. One was a hole used by little people inside to throw out trash into the volcano for, trash disposal. And there was a hole made by the mountain folk with the silver anvil, and apparently that is the key to destroying this whole tower and dropping it directly into the volcano.
Well, that's useful knowledge.
You even have a sense of where this might be, because, when the mountain speaks to you, it doesn't just speak to you with words. There are images, impressions. You had a vision, if you will, of how the mountain folk... think people like Gwelman and the other folks that you met in Arnhem at the tavern so long ago, how they worked really hard and diligently here, and it's like a time-lapse image because it's from the mountain's perspective, so the tower goes up like really fast, whoop, because that's how the tower the mountain experienced it, and underneath it there is some kind of contraption where an anvil will start a chain reaction that brings down the whole thing if it falls down. There is some kind of lever there that you can pull that will start that trigger that chain reaction.
I like the idea of maybe entering into you said there's a hole on the below the walkway or there's like a back door.
Mikhail was I suppose was the sense I got that was like the main door underneath the walkway, or
No. The main door is like
the walkway.
On top of the walkway.
Yeah, they're on top of the walkway, the bridge, if you will, in human speak, like a huge double door, if you will, and But the other entrance is somewhere on the side. You have to climb down on the side of the cliff on which the Iron Tower is built. And in a hole there is some kind of tunnel that you could get in.
Back door.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can do that. And yes, I think, I mean, for my money, that's a much better entrance for us to take.
What about the giants? Are they going to be able to fit through the tunnel?
Nope.
They won't come in the caldera with us at all.
Yes, indeed. Great Thule is looking at you now. So, little people, where do you want us in all this? I hear you speak of side doors and maybe,
What about the flying demon thing? Do you think you could throw big rocks at it?
we can throw big rocks at the flying demon things, yes. It's like swatting a fuzzard.
There you go. I mean,
I think that's a good use of Thule and his grandson.
So I'm gonna lean a little. Artegue is not the necessarily the smartest man, nor is he the most mystically trained man. He does, however, have a hammer that can harm demons, and is aware of the fact that normally, unless you have something that can specifically harm some creatures, they're just straight up immune to normal weapons. Is that functional on the scale of like giants throwing boulders? For instance, sure, you're immune to normal swords and bows and clubs, but are you immune to like a mountain being dropped on you? You see what I'm saying?
Right. If a special type of creature is immune to mundane weapons, yes, they would be immune to the type of rocks that a giant could throw, probably, yeah. Very
All right, so
resilient, at least.
I have a question though.
As an aside to Nefria, so it may kill the giants if we do that.
Wait. But can I get your opinion then, Artegue? What if I gave them these 11 vials of glacial water that I had and they poured them over the rocks?
Look, I have a little bit of practical experience with, I have a magic hammer that harms demons. I have no experience whatsoever with holy water from a glacier.
Yeah, I look at Sifanu and Parama and I say, okay, so what if I had these 11 vials and they pour them over the rocks and then they throw the rocks at the demon?
Your guess is as good as Sifanu is not a demonologist, if you recall. He is a necromancer. Big difference.
Maybe next time he'll be a demonologist, but not yet.
Exactly.
Well,
I'd say it couldn't hurt.
all right, great Thule.
Sure, it can't hurt, but again, away from where Parama can hear me, again, if the giants can't actually hurt these things, they will kill the giants. It's not a problem for me. I know some of you have feelings about protecting them.
They're grown.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we just warned
They're
them.
grown men. I mean,
Great
yes.
Thule.
Yes.
Do you have any experience hurting demon creatures, demonic entities?
Not really. We have seen these things in the past, but from only afar. We do not come to this part of the lands often. Not since the green men came here.
If we did, if things go kind of awry here, just by the way, just like as an aside, right? And things go a little bit what we would call maybe sideways. Is there like a token or password you could give us so that your giant friends, when we come running their direction, know that we're friendly?
Kamorda?
Okay. Morta, it is. We'll go with that in the event that not all of us make it out.
Okay, so So,
So yeah, there's a plan.
yeah, I think the little people go in. Thule, I'll leave you with 10 of my 11 glacial vials. They're very tiny. I know they're like very small for you. Yes, very tiny. So please be careful with them. But they may very much injure the demon flying things in case regular weapons do not.
Mm-hmm. Very well. Thank you, little person.
Okay. They can also maybe heal you if you get injured.
Also, Great Thule, just as an aside, I'm fairly certain they can spit either fire or acid.
Ah, that is good to know. We will make sure to keep them at a distance, holds up the tree trunk.
Okay. Just wanted to let you know.
It's like
Since apparently we're warning you.
baseball.
Okay. So, all right. Well, we're going to be sneaking in the backside. You'll be the diversion in the front, and we'll take care of some of the smaller people, and then we'll bring this whole thing down. Yeah?
Very well.
Okay.
Which leaves the following questions. Where do you want the Wolfkin? Where do you want Briar and Parima?
Parima goes with us. Parima goes with us.
Parima goes with you. Briar.
I suppose we take Briar.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Like, we can always push him and, they feast on him while we run.
I feel so
hold
bad
on.
for Briar. Like, this guy is just like, we're gonna what now? He's taking
He
notes.
is, in fact, very
Briar knows
deeply-
so many things.
He is deeply enamored in the study of the present geology. He is
What?
knocking on all sorts of stones. Most interesting. Yes, this mix, I don't think I have seen this anywhere.
I have two opinions. Either we take all of the smaller NPCs, Smogerland, Briar, the Wolfkin, we take them all as part of our small army, or we leave them here we leave the Wolfkin to guard Briar and that sort of thing from any Shagulites that get out.
Parima
They come
will
running
definitely
away.
go with you. She feels compelled by her, drawn by her
Mogerland?
destiny, if you will. No, Parima.
No, Paramount.
Well, Parima's definitely going. That's not a question.
Mogerland is not interested in anything. She will say again, if you ask her, I am simply here to observe. I feel the end of my journey is nearing, which is interesting to me. But I do not act. I observe. Those are the holy tenets of my order.
So does Briar, but not for religious purposes. Anyway.
Yep.
So that's my thought, is that we leave those NPCs minus Parima here to sort of observe what happens on the sidelines and to keep them safe. The Wolfkin are be here, or we take everybody with us. That way we stay together and have the Wolfkin assisting us. I think personally I would leave them here because A, I want to keep them alive, and B, I think we will be better on our own. Especially in small and close quarters, and getting in and out of here in a more stealthy fashion while we have the giant distraction out front. That's my thought.
Nefria, what do you think? They are Nefria's Reavers, after all.
Truth.
Indeed.
I just think when we leave, I think I'd like, the Wolfkin to be there to receive us in especially if we have to, retreat.
So I'm thinking, where would we want to, retreat, our route out? And I would almost want to leave them a little bit closer to where we might run to. So, rather than having them hang out at, the start of the ridge with the giants, have the Reavers a little bit farther in so that they can provide closer support if we need it in our flight.
Would you rather take them with us inside the tunnels?
I'm almost inclined to take them inside with us and then leave them there at some place and kind of guard a little bit in so that we have an escape route.
So guard the back door, basically?
Yeah, or if we get close enough, maybe we send them to try to find the anvil and get that squared away and secured.
It's not a bad idea. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I kind of like the manpower idea too. That's
Yeah.
much better. That's much better than what I had.
And that still leaves Briar and Mogerland. They can sort of observe from like the defense post.
Yeah, I'll say on Briar's part at least, I feel very strongly that Briar should come inside with us, and we can leave him with the Wolfkin then, even if we don't take him all the rest of the way inside. Because, like, though it's fairly obvious that we're not really an archaeological expedition, guys.
What?
He did hire us thinking that we were.
No. Briar
I'll feel
is a
bad if
friend.
he gets killed out.
Yeah. He's a friend. He's a friend.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's a
I like that
usable
plan.
rube.
Neff. That's great.
All
He
right,
also
cool.
knows a lot of stuff. We couldn't have blown that horn without him.
No.
Indeed.
Good to have a nerd with us.
Yes, you do. So
far
the
as I'm
plan
concerned.
is, again, you are bringing the Wolfkin with you inside to try and find the anvil thing?
I think we're going to bring them into the entryway,
Yeah.
and then find a defensive position and sort of leave them there to cover our exit.
It might be
basically.
easier for you to decide exactly where when you see the actual tower and
Yeah.
the cliff it's
Yeah.
on, because you have to get up to the rim first and be able to watch from there. So maybe do that little walk first. Yes.
Right, but still, we're taking them with us on that with the intention of taking them.
Right. Everybody's coming
Mogerland?
with you to the actual hot gates, if you will. So what you can see, that pass, you will remember, of course, from the Kmorda temple. And now we're getting close to the actual. There we go. We want
Although
to
we'll
have-
lose your delightful artwork.
Yes. You will remember from the Kmorda temple, there was like an etching next to the Iron Tower depicting a mountain pass with two horns bending in towards each other, if you will. And that is exactly the feature that you see in front of you. Two very tall, sharp cliffs that are leaning in towards you at the peak, at the top. And between those two cliffs is a very narrow passage, and that's the one that I've made there on the bottom. That's where the on the bottom of the map there. That's where the path is going up. If your entire company wants to go that way, you can absolutely do that. It's certainly it's going to be narrow for a giant, but not so bad that he can't get through. It's just I don't think that the giants would be able to touch the cliffs with outstretched arms. It's wide enough for that. But the giant will not be walking on the path because that path is not big enough for giant feet.
No, so as long as the giants can still see the evil flying things,
Certainly.
yeah, then that's good enough, and we can leave them here and just.
So they will come with you to the actual.
Yeah.
It's called the Goat Horn Pass, and they will come with you there. And as you approach, you will in fact see a group of people who must have been sitting guard there. They can see you from afar because you're coming with 20 people and 2 giants, and they just run away. They run right up the path and just they nope out of here. Might have something to do with 2 giants and 20 people, including like lots of wolfkin. Yeah, they do not want to stay.
Well, that's go time then, friends.
So how many guards were there?
A handful max. Like you outnumber them 5 to 1.
So can I send my reavers to chase after them and hunt them down real quick?
You can absolutely do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I shoot them from this close or no?
They are not
longbow?
gonna. They're not gonna wait until you're in archery range to run. Like they will see the giants way ahead of that. That's the drawback with bringing giants to a showdown is everybody can see them from really far away.
One of the advantages of bringing giants to your showdown is that everyone can see them from a very long ways away.
This is also true.
So, really, friends, I'll say that, dear bosom companions, the giants already know their part of the plan. They're supposed to walk up there and throw rocks at flying demons. We're supposed to get into the place, so charge.
Yeah.
One of the giants
they're
will,
running
like,
away.
throw-
Let's just pursue them.
One of the giants will throw a rock after these guys, because they have a much longer range than any of you.
Basimar's just impatient, wants to smash somebody.
Yep, Basimar is just impatient and wants to smash somebody. Oh, I made it. Yeah, it's public. Yeah, that's actually 2 successes on that throw. One of the people who were guarding there and running away is smashed under a rock. Splash! It's just, he was there and then thump. And you can see, like, feet jutting out from under the rock. There is no more of that person there.
It's very Wicked Witch of the West.
Yes, very much.
So we'll just...
Charge.
Artegue will just pursue them. Oh, jeez.
Tally ho. Go get them, guys.
We'll just pursue them up the path and see if we can catch them.
Very well.
And if we can't catch them before we get to the door, or before we get to, the secret door we want to go in, then we'll just ignore them and go to the secret door like we planned.
Yep.
I will send my reavers after them as well, so hopefully they get a little bit more speed than we do going on all
the
fours.
reavers are indeed fast, and
nice.
Why don't we roll a check here for that? They do have a bit of a head start, mind you, because they do. I will roll 2d6 for their fire. This is group rolls now, and the guards are getting 1 success. Your reavers will have 3d6, I believe, because they have much higher levels of fire. Let me double check that, but I do believe that's true.
Way to
Garrison,
go, reavers.
The reavers, they are Wolfkin. No, I've put their fire to 2, so there you go. Roll a 2. On the other hand, they do have... Nah, Huntsmaster is not going to help them in this one. Yeah, roll a 2. They have a 2 as well. They will need 2 successes to start catching up.
Womp, womp.
Unfortunately. Apparently, the guards up ahead know the terrain here really well, while the reavers, they're running up and they're going on all fours a bit, but they don't really know if they want to charge in to the unknown, like if they're gonna get ambushed from like some hidden setup that could trap them. So they will be a little bit too cautious, and therefore they will let these people get away, as it were. But they will, take the ground where these guys used to be and sniff around a bit. And Haha will speak to Nefria again. Smells like ice barbarians. Yes, Orgine barbarians. Very smelly, not nice.
What's an ice barbarian? An Orgine barbarian? What is this, Haka?
Briar can tell you everything about this. Oh, you see, says Briar. The Orgine are notoriously well-known barbarians in the northern wastes. I do not know how they got here, mind you, because of course they come from very far away. I will in fact activate the Northern Ocean map here so you get some context. They come from very, very far away to the north, to the east of Marjura, from Orgine and Anorgine, respectively. They are known as fierce cannibal pirates who conduct raids against the eastern shores of Tracoria, and some of them are said to be blue-skinned. They're also said to take slaves.
So they're in league with the Shagulites somehow.
Apparently, yes.
I'm not going to stand here and listen to Briar talk.
Nope.
Just continuing on down the path.
Yep.
I love Fryer. He's a very smart man. We don't have time for a lecture. We don't.
He does deliver one anyway, and then he's very surprised that you don't stick around. As you get up to the actual crater, just inside the pass, there is this circular valley, if you will. The plain surface is about 100 meters below the crater edge that you're on. The crater is about a quarter mile across, maybe? Ish. Smack dab in the middle is a very dark, very tall cliff with a building that definitely has to be the Iron Tower. It's a rectangular main building made out of seemingly stone from this distance, and towards the rear of this long rectangular shape is a long tower jutting up from the cliff towards the on the southern edge where you are. Let's see now. No. I'm so sorry. On the western edge, where you are, where you can see, is the a bridge with very beautifully made bridge spans. The actual what do you call it? The pillars that are carrying the bridge itself. You can see, in fact, there is a bit of a fire on one side there. There is some light over on the crater side, the cliff edge crater side, so your side of the bridge. There must be people over there. On the other side, where the bridge ends, there would be probably the gates to the Iron Tower itself. The red little lines I've made here in the crater, those are actual flames jutting up through the surface of the crater. The rest of the crater is just black-gray, just as the color of the map here is. There is a lot of steam coming up, forming some kind of very somber lid, if you will. The sun does not reach in down here. Everything is very dark, like dusk-like. There is no snow, there is no plants around here. Yeah, that's what you can see. There's some kind of stone building right next to the bridge span to your left, on your side of the bridge. That's what you can see from here. Sir Artegue, looking at the cliff there in the middle, you would say that the one of those holes that the mountains told you about is probably located somewhere around. I need to do a different color because black doesn't work very well on that particular surface. How about white? Yeah, I put it, the new text does mark it, doesn't it? Somewhere around there?
Okay. Yes, around the kind of a walkway to round to the backside.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'll write back entrance there? Question mark?
All right, guys. We're going in the back door.
Indeed.
It's going to be that kind of party.
There are things flying around the tower. Big things with huge bat-like wings.
Unless someone proposes a different plan or wants to approach, for say, the people around the fire over here, maybe. Artegue plans on marching steadily forward with a hammer until he meets opposition.
I mean, yeah, to the back door we go.
Is that you walk along the path, or you climb down to the actual crater surface?
Well, what kind of cover do we have on the crater surface?
Nothing much. It's flat.
We can go that way if you want, though. No problem. Not like we're gonna have any cover on the walkway either.
I mean, I would almost try to like get down into the valley, hug the mountains to the walkway itself, and then like walk under the bridge.
Oh, I see. Use the walkway itself as cover. All right, I'm down. Yeah, we climb. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but then we kind of like hug, along here, using those mountains as cover, and then see about going that way.
I will even go so far as to say that's a pretty good plan, and Artegue pulls out his rock climbing gear.
Ah,
I was prepared for just such an eventuality.
indeed. So you're going to climb down by the stone house thingy here? Is that what we're saying?
We're gonna climb down a little bit of ways away, so maybe like climb down closer to like here, and then we're gonna hug the mountains as cover,
Okay,
rather than coming up the pathway where whoever is there can actually see us.
that works. Okay.
And I guess we'll leave the giants on the walkway there to deal with whatever's coming, land or sky.
Right. Yeah, because, that's a thing that can happen. Let's bring out... I'm going to mark the giants. I'll put Great Thule there for simplicity's sake. And I can move him where... So he will just stay here? Is that the idea here?
I think so, yeah, and kind of, deal with if like the guards come rushing or the flappy bits.
Oh, the flappy bits? How about you want to climb down the cliffside. It is very steep indeed. Let's see now. Yeah, I'm gonna say that you will have to roll some climbing check there, which I would argue would be how about? Well, it's gonna be a fire roll. You have climbing gear. That's a rope and something else.
I just have rock climbing gear in my initial kit, so
Yep.
whatever we want to say that is, certainly some ropes and stuff.
It will give you
Pittance.
extra dice for sure.
Yeah, right. A D clip maybe. A D
Yeah.
clip.
Rope climbing gear.
Carabiners.
Carabiners, yeah.
I'll give you a +2 then. +2. That's generous for rock climbing gear because it's everything and not just a rope.
Right.
And so fire check plus or stone if you prefer that. It's either way.
I vastly prefer stone.
I believe you might. Yes. And let's hope you don't fall down because it's a dang far way down. Let's see now. It is. Yeah, about 100 meters down. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So you will need to be careful climbing down. That's the thing.
Cool. I suppose
starts throwing fire?
who's our worst climber?
I have a good fire, so.
You
I've
do.
got 2 fire.
I've got a
Fire
good
or
stone.
stone, either way. Sifanu has 2 for
2.
fire, so he'll be using that.
I'm good. Yeah. So
You could climb down one at a time, and people can try to help somehow, if we can motivate that story-wise.
I can't unless the rope reaches all the way to the ground.
I don't think it would, because it's 100 meters. You're like,
Yeah,
that's a long rope.
That's a serious rope. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it reached all the way to the ground, that would give us an option. But no, gosh. Hold on. What the hell? Oh, what's the fun if you never do anything?
Well, would Haka would the Reavers also have any climbing gear, having been sent from the garrison to find us in the wilderness?
That's a good question, isn't it? Yeah, they will have some. I'll give you that. And they're not terribly eager to do this either, but this is a problem here for you now.
Can I?
Very soon you're
Sorry.
going to run into the problem of Nefria not being a military commander. The moment the wolfkin faces something they don't want to face, you will have no more control over them. You will not be able to order them to hold their ground, for example. You do need the command ability for that. It hasn't happened yet. I'm just putting it out there that it might happen at some point.
Better get that command ability, girl.
Gotta level up.
I gotta level up.
I can also talk to the volcano, and of course, this never happened. I can talk to the volcano and see if it could maybe give us some handholds to climb down.
Absolutely, you can do that.
If there's a taste for it, but it's going to take me a hot minute.
Yep.
You gotta get the mountain's attention.
I kind of like that idea.
It is slower though.
I mean, we have giants to keep things at bay.
Okay.
You
Eldrida?
do, indeed.
I'm fine with whatever you guys decide. I'm pretty climby, so this is for your safety.
Yep.
Okay. Then I suppose Artegue will spend a fate die, and he'll spend. So that's 4, and
Yep, and another fate die to
4d6.
hide the thing, right?
yes, and 1 fate die on top of that to hide the working from other dirty spellcasters.
Yep, 46. You are on fire today, aren't you? Wow,
This is
3 successes again.
It's all before combat, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the mountain gives us a red carpet on the way down. Like,
Pretty much.
there's a
Wow.
fountain. It's blasting water at us. Misting us.
Yeah, that's
That's very cool.
You know what? You're gonna get 3 extra dice to climb down. There you go.
All right, cool.
3 extra dice.
So now this
these
is
fate
as relatively
dice are,
safe as we can
great.
make it.
No, 3 extra base dice, because the mountain is like there's a slight tremor in the mountain, and suddenly there's all sorts of crack. Describe it for us, if you will, Rob.
Oh gosh. Yeah. So I suppose the side of the crater drums like sand, although it's obviously not sand, and just thump, 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 and as it thumps, cracks appear, and the mountain, of course, being very well aware of itself and very comfortable in its skin, manages to create a series of like cracks about 6 foot apart from each other, just to make our lives easy.
Yes, indeed.
I give the mountain images of tiny little short-lived creatures scampering down it in an eye blink, and
Yes.
the mountain obliges.
As this happens, there is going to be one of those big bat-like winged things flying towards you from the tower, because it's kind of hard to hide a giant. The giant will throw a rock at it, because that's what you said it should do.
I mean,
in fact, both of them
I don't have
will.
a better way to deal with these things.
Exactly.
Throw a rock.
So now I have to think a little bit about how this is working.
Giants and throwing rocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know any physicists?
No, that's not the. That's the one I needed. Sorry, I need the right stats. I need the right people, the right evilness,
The right
if
stats.
you will. Huh. Okay. I guess I'm sending them. That's gonna be interesting. We have ourselves some giants throwing big rocks. That's what we have. And they are... Where are they in the book? Nope. Wrong page. My apologies. There we go. We have an ice giant. Fire 2. Yeah, that's not terribly skilled, but it's something. And they will throw rocks from very, very far away against this thing that's coming flying out. Sifanu will be able to say that this thing that's flying, the demon, obviously, is carrying something in its crab-like legs against its torso. A humanoid creature, a person, if you will. We'll see how long this works now. Great Thule is throwing a rock. Nope. It just flies past with no impact at all. Baltimore is throwing a rock. They're not terribly good at the rock throw. Oh my god!
That young one's got anger.
Yep.
He's got anger on his side.
I will, however, get a chance to dodge that with these things. They will get to roll their fire because they see the rock come, right? They're like,
It's just
here comes
sailing at them out of
doom.
the sky.
Doom comes towards me, so I'm gonna roll their fire, and that is 3d6.
Despair and die.
That's a
Boo.
success. But it's only a single success. We know that
We're
in
the
this game,
aggressor.
the aggressor wins. And
Good to
the
swing
aggressor
first.
also has 1/6. So the demon takes that rock right on the schnozzle. Demon and rider splat. That was intense. Yeah, I'm gonna roll myself 5d6 worth of damage because that's the giant stone. Are you jealous?
How do you
yet,
like that?
Sir
How do you like them apples? Oh, gotcha. I'd love to have some giant blood in me. I'll start working on a race of half giants anytime you let me.
Splat.
Obviously, after this is all over, Artegue, we need to go to the giant land and meet some giant women for you, and you can get a girlfriend there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, someone who can out wrestle me.
Takes a brutal hit against. The stone impacts. The person who's riding it gets hit as well because it's a big freaking rock. As the demon is trying to veer off to one side bravely, and that's not going to be quite enough, is it? How much is a big rock? It's going to be at least 2 base damage, if not more, right? It's a
Yes.
like big rock. So yeah, the demon is falling down towards the crater. That's what I'm saying. Clearly, it is dangerous to approach these giants.
Give him a thumbs up.
I mean, when you're that size, you take a rock and you throw it, it's gotta hurt when you're hit by something that size. It's basically being hit by a trebuchet projectile. And a trebuchet, there are in fact, there's a,
It's like
Yeah,
throwing a fist size circle.
the base damage for it is 6. So
It's like throwing a fist-sized rock
that's
at
a
a
7
hummingbird.
damage on a normal person, so splat, they go down. Okay, why don't we have you guys roll your fire and stuff and try to get down. You have 3 extra dice to do this because your good friend Sir Artegue spoke to the mountain and gave you excellent ways to hold on to things. Nefria is coming down. You will take some kind of
Oh, that was my roll. I basically glide down the mountain. Sorry.
Yeah, being Trinsmyran, you're used to mountain climbing, and apparently Sir Artegue is as well.
Spoken
You
to
have
the
no
mountain
problems at all
extensively.
climbing down. Nefria, not quite as athletic there. What is the negative effect for you? Succeeded cost? Is that a point of damage or exhaustion or something?
Yeah, let's go with a point of exhaustion on that.
That sounds reasonable.
It was just really
I will
tiring.
roll for Parima, of course. She has, what is it, 2 + 3, 5, 7 then, because of climbing equipment. She makes it down too, but she's also very tired at the bottom. Briar, I'm gonna roll for some of the. I'm not gonna roll for all the Wolfkin, but
No, you're not going to track 12 of them separately?
this is correct. For some strange reason, I will not.
As
Briar,
goes
I will
Paka, so
track.
goes the
He
pack.
is. Well, I mean, fire is better than stone, so he'll use that.
Good boys. Yay.
Oh, come on. Come on.
He does well, apparently.
He
Good for
studied
him.
this. He read a book about it.
Yep. And then the Wolfkin, I'll just roll one roll for all of them, and then we'll see how tired they are at the bottom. Nope, not at all. They are fine with this. So they go down as well. Moggerland will stay with the giants, honestly.
Good choice.
Like a lot of work to go down there. She's fine with just watching things. Yeah. They can keep throwing rocks, I guess. Someone this size must be able to throw rocks 300 meters. Right?
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. They don't have any precision at this, but it's gonna bug someone, right?
Well, were there more flying creatures around, or was that
Oh
the
yeah,
only one?
there are more flying creatures. They're just not coming close right now, because
Right.
that wise from experience. There's like, yeah, no, that was bad. You are down on the crater, and you are going there, and we will see what evilness befalls you, knowing that there is very powerful wizards and sorcerers and necromancers and evil people inside the Iron Tower. But you already knew that. So.
Hey, we have a necromancer too. It's fine.
He's very
A
powerful.
novice, a
You don't know.
novice, Yeah. Okay.
We
Sorry
know about an anvil in there, which is apparently not something they've decided to like protect or deal with. So
Just because he hasn't passed all of his classes to get his necromancer degree doesn't make him any less powerful.
All right, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. And
Thanks for running.
Alright.
thank you,
the
Michael.
attack
Well-
on the Iron Tower will begin in earnest.
I just want to make sure that I'm good for